What up, though? It's your boy Joe De Niro, and this is Mike checking on Infinite TV 360, the podcast. And I got my homeboy
Cashew Stupid. You already know.
What it do, everybody? Hey, so we've been running down the history of hip hop. We started with the birth in the 70s. We hit y'all with the 80s, and now it's time to hit you with the 90s. What you think about that, Shoe?
It's time to go 90s style on them. 90s was big, so, we definitely got to do the 90s for them, man. We got to, touch on some of it, you know what I'm saying? We can't, it's too many to put in one show, you know what I'm saying? But
hey, yeah. Well, the 70s laid the foundation, but then the 80s gave it a voice, but the 90s took it to the next level.
Yeah, sure did, with different kind of styles. I mean, I guess I would say the 80s brought us in, but the 80s kind of had the same kind of sound a little bit. They were still trying to figure it out. We started branching off in the 90s. People started coming out with all different kind of stuff. Yeah.
So then you start seeing different pockets in the cities that actually was like, we love hip-hop too.
Yep.
We do this too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't just New York and Cali.
It wasn't just New York and Cali.
Yeah.
It went down south. It went Midwest. It went all the way up in northern Cali. You know what I'm saying? You had rappers from all over the place. Shoot, I remember the dude from Canada.
Yeah. And Cannabis. He was from Canada too.
We were introduced to that Jamaican hip hop. So it was so much hip hop in the 90s, and that's where we got most of our trends, most of our style and our culture. And it became a real global economic thing right there. Hey, so we're gonna get right into it. So, Shoes.
What up, though?
We got a list, right?
Yes, sir.
And so on this list, we pretty much go through the most influential artists, album, and probably just some of our favorites. You know what I'm saying?
Some of your favorites too, though. Some of
your favorites. So check it out. Shoes. Who you got on number one?
When you say number one, I don't want to say this is the number one. Don't get it twisted. I don't want people
not like the GOAT debate. Nothing like that. I'm talking about like in the early 90s, what was one of the first artist albums that, you know what I'm saying? Because I got mine.
Yeah.
I want to hear who you thinking, and you got to think, the 90s. You're an old man. That was a long time ago.
Right. Yeah, I got to go back. I got to go back to 92, 93, and that's going to be UGK. Let's do UGK first. I want to do UGK because I want to talk about, they was the Underground Kings. They had albums before we knew they had albums. Their first album was Too Hard to Swallow, right?
Okay.
And they had a song on this album called Pocket Full of Stones. I got a pocket. This is their first hit single, right? And it was out for a whole year, maybe 6 to 8 months. It was out before anybody knew about it till they did what? They put it on Menace to Society soundtrack. And then when they put this song on Menace to Society soundtrack, these guys was no longer underground no more. You know what I'm saying? It was no longer, they was mainstream now. So they hit us with the Rad and Dirty, the Super Tight, Still Dirty, everything was dirty. They dropped the album every year. Iconic group, Pimp C and Bun B.
Well, for me, you know what I'm saying, there was a big move in my life in the early 90s, 1989. I left Detroit, Michigan, and I moved to Denver, Colorado. So in Detroit, 89, I'm on Boogie Down Productions. Rock him. That's right. As soon as I moved, 89, 90, I got introduced into NWA.
Yes.
So it was a whole different culture moving out there. 303, shout out to the 303. I love the city.
Yes, sir.
Check it out. Going out there, I was introduced to the gang culture. It's a totally different culture. You go far east, Midwest, east. It's a whole different culture.
Yes, it is.
I got introduced to a different culture. So now I'm looking at Dickies and T-shirts and Chucks.
Oh, yeah.
When just yesterday I'm looking at, you know what I'm saying, we got Lee jeans, Levi jeans. Paisley shirts.
Snakeskin belts.
Culture. So NWA was the first ones for me. You know what I'm saying? And they hit the streets like fuck the police, a bitch is a bitch.
Yep, they showed did.
You know what I'm saying? It was something totally different from what I was already listening to. So I'm gonna say NWA. NWA changed it for me and made me really, really want to start checking out West Coast hip hop.
For sure.
That's what it was. So, and if I went through the list of West Coast hip hop, the albums that were dropped, like we'd be here all day.
Yeah,
we'd be here all day. But I'm gonna shout out NWA because to me they the forefathers of West Coast.
Let me segue off of that because from NWA comes Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, motherfucking Cube.
And he dropped in the 1990, he left NWA.
So he dropped America's Most Wanted in 1990.
Yep. As soon as he left, that because NWA was 87, 88, 89. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Cube, 90, he was out of there. He left. He dropped the album every year after he left NWA. They thought he was out of there. He was going to fall off. No, he went to the East Coast. He dropped an album every year. He started with America's Most Wanted. And then he came with Death Certificate.
Yeah.
And then he came with Predator.
But in between there, the movies, you can't think Higher Learning, his first role. He was real dope in Higher Learning.
Yep. That was
he did a few tracks on Higher Learning.
Yep, and then he did it, the Glass Shield, which wasn't really his, but he did that. You know what I'm saying? It was
Ice Cube is still relevant, changed the game.
Yep.
And I tell everybody, anytime Ice Cube is mentioned in a conversation, I'm gonna tell my Ice Cube story.
Yeah, for sure.
So check it out. Me and my homeboy Paris, shout out Paris. I hope you watch this. Share, like, subscribe. Hey, check it out.
Sure.
Me and Paris, we on our way to a spot in Denver called Celebrities. Used to have a pool and slides. My Denver people know already what I'm talking about. But we waiting on the bus in front of Big Eddie's Barbecue. And the waiter come out and say, hey, y'all like Ice Cube? And we like, yeah, we like Ice Cube. I'm thinking he about to give us a tape or something like that. We get inside, this Ice Cube and the whole lynch mob. Sitting in there. We break bread with him. We chop it up with him.
That's what's up.
They call me D Nice. They call my boy P Pretty Boy. We just chilling in there, man. And then they left. They fed us. They left. We was kids, man. Mm-hmm. You gotta think how old I was in 1990. I was 14 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we went on the Celebrities. We had a great day. Today was a good day.
Exactly. For sure. Yeah.
Shout out to my man Paris, but that was a great day. But Ice Cube changed the game, man.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, there was no lyrics, nothing hitting hard like that. You know what I'm saying?
And then we found out that he was writing everything when we kind of knew, but we knew when he left that he was writing everything. He ain't say nothing about NWA till the second album. He left him alone. He ain't say nothing. All we did was doing our talking on the street. We started talking, man, Q gonna this now. He never did. And then they came with 100 Miles and Running.
Oh man.
And called him Benedict Arnold and all that.
Yeah.
Oh man, he dropped I think he might have dropped the album right after that. 2 months later.
He probably couldn't wait. He probably they say he probably wrote it after, but he probably already had it in the
probably did.
arsenal, like ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna load this clip.
As soon as they say something, and because when he came out, goddamn, I'm glad y'all set it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Like he was waiting.
Y'all said something first. Cause I've been wanting to whoop all y'all.
And went in on the whole group. Who else we got, man?
So even though I was in a whole different area, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing, I still kept my real hip hop roots.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Man, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. I remember my brother bringing that tape to school, and he got it. He met somebody in the Wu or something before it came out. My brother Ty, shout out to Ty. He got to see the tape before it came out, and we had it before it came out.
He knew somebody that knew somebody?
Yeah. And he come to school with the tape. Like, the new niggas, man, they had masks on their face. You couldn't tell who they was on the cover. We didn't know who they was. They didn't show who they was. 9 of them, you know what I'm saying? We didn't know who was who. When they finally did the video, we like, oh, that's him. No, actually, when they first did the video, it was the MET Method Man. And we still ain't know who was who until they did Cream, you know what I'm saying? So they were so mysterious, man. They had the mystery of checks boxing. We love karate. They got all the shit.
Everybody watch karate. Every
man.
Saturday. Some people watch cartoons. I watch karate.
Man, I used to love Kung Fu Theater, man. That was my shit. So
Chari Rum.
Yeah, Chari Rum. Yeah. Yeah. So the Wu-Tang, they changed the game by giving starting the group with 9 members All different members. And then in their contract, they always able to go to their own different label and make their own albums without the parent company trying to touch none of their money or take none of them. They was able in their contract to go and do their own things.
Yeah, the way they set up their contract was very innovative. You know what I'm saying? And they gave everybody a lot of freedom.
Exactly.
This is the family, but y'all still can do what you got to do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of them did go on to do like Raekwon, Ghostface, If You Got, Method Man. All of them went on RZA. Yeah. All of them Old Dirty.
Old Dirty.
You know, shout out, rest in peace, Old Dirty.
Most famous.
Yeah. He went.
I think for whatever reason, ODB was the most famous
because he was the most outspoken and he was the most like always on the scene. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go see,
outrageous.
Yeah. If you want to go see Wu-Tang in the club, you was gonna see Old Dirty in the club. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You was definitely gonna see Old Dirty. Method Man wound up being a breakout star because his delivery was just so impeccable. It was just like, wait a minute, who was this? They didn't sound the same. They was from different boroughs. You know what I'm saying? They were from different neighborhoods, but they wind up through situations and struggles in the neighborhood that they wind up linking up together.
I mean, sometimes you got to put the little shit to the side, the pettiness aside, and look at the bigger picture. Yeah, and that's what Wu-Tang Clan did.
They sure
because
did.
They all came from different places, and we know the story.
Yeah,
know the story.
Yeah. And they got a show. You can go watch the show. But I did name my son, my oldest son. I did name him to Calvin after Cal and shit. And I did get a chance to tell Method Man about that. And that was funny too because he was in the VIP and I called him over. I told him, come here, like a chick or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, come here. And he gave him the finger. Yeah, and he came. You know what I'm saying? He came over to. I remember. Yeah, it was Red. We don't play the pause game. It was Red Man birthday, April 19th in Denver, Colorado, and he came over to me and I said, man, I named my son after you, man. It's tattooed on my arm. My son's name is Cal. Method Man turned around so fast and he was like, look, man, this nigga named his son after me. This nigga right here got 15,000 kids named after him. I looked over Method Man's shoulder and guess who it was? Raekwon.
That's what I'm talking about. He got 15,000 kids.
He said, come on in, man.
15,000
Yeah. He said, I got one nigga named his son. His name ain't Clifford. It's to Cal. So that was my good Method Man story, man. And shout out to Wu-Tang Clan. 93 they came out. They might have went famous in 94, but 93 is when I heard them in December when it was underground, when it was low key, and they branched off to do a lot for hip hop, man. Check out their story and their music.
That's what's up. What else you got? I know you got one for me. Who you got in the chamber?
I got 91. I got MC Breed.
I knew he was gonna go hometown.
Yeah, I gotta go hometown, man.
Ain't no future in your front.
Because when Ain't No Future in Your Front came out, my goodness, my goodness, man.
That song was on every radio in every car.
To the beat, y'all, man. It was everywhere, and it beat hard.
If you ain't never heard Ain't No Future in Your Front, you need to check that out. MC Breed,
man,
trust me.
Yes.
When that's one of them songs, soon as you hear it come on, everybody know what it is and what time it is.
Yeah, he came out on his own with it, just his homeboys at first on a little independent label. Soon as you drop that album with Ain't No Future in Your Front, his next album was produced by Warren G and DLC.
And he had a chance. He did one of the hottest. I Gotta Get Mine.
I got with Pac. Oh yeah. Oh my! Rest in peace to both of them.
Rest in peace to both of them.
Rest in peace to both of them. Yeah, I had to pull one out the chamber, man. You know I had one in there, though, man. You know I had one in there.
I'm glad you didn't go to the Dayton family.
No, I didn't. It was a toss. It was
a toss.
Yeah, but see, Bree, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay homage to the ones that ain't here no more. He can't speak for himself, so I speak for him. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. The Dayton family, we can call them niggas up and get them on here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the pick was for. Yep.
So. Right now, I'm going to go, because every time I hear any of that shit, it made me think of that 1977 Forest Green and white Cadillac. I'm going to go with the motherfucking Outkast.
Oh, yes.
So when the Outkast came out, honestly, I don't think I was really listening to nobody from the A.
Nah.
I mean, there were artists in the A.
But like listening?
I was listening to.
I was listening to Compton's Most Wanted. I was listening to Compton's Most Wanted.
But I don't think I was listening to anything from Atlanta. But I don't know if it was the fact that I had the car or it was the music. But
that shit was beating. That shit was beating. It was funk,
smooth,
southern funk. Yeah, it was a different sound, bro. That's what it was. That shit came doom 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 doom. Man, and
shout out to the Dungeon family.
Yes. Oh man, they stuck together in the dungeon, stuck together in the basement of Rico Wade's house, which is Future's cousin. Yes. Rest in peace to Rico Wade. Stay in the dungeon together, slept together, smoked together, lived together, and just made hits. Man,
but Outkast, that's that year they dropped.
Yeah.
What was that? 94.
Yep, 94. Yep. The year I graduated high school. Yep. So me too.
Just graduated high school. Mm-hmm. Just got a car, driving, working, chilling. Bam. Still a cassette too.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah. Still was cassette.
It was still a cassette.
Yeah.
I had me and my cousin Art had a big one. I had a medium sized one. Mm-hmm. But we still had cassettes.
Yeah.
Driving with your knee.
Yeah.
Right cassette. But Outkast, yo.
And you had to fast forward and rewind. That was the thing.
Yeah, man.
Listen, let me say something about Outkast. The song, their very first song was called The Player's Ball. A lot of people don't know. That was a Christmas song.
That was a Christmas song.
It was definitely a Christmas song. Go back and listen to The Player's Ball and listen to what he's talking about. It's definitely talking about Christmas Day. It's about Christmas Day.
Not even past that a little bit. If you really listen to it, you can hear the sleigh bells in the back.
Yeah, you can.
You can hear the sleigh bells.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Players Ball.
Yeah.
Because the Players Ball down in the A, it always happened on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
So it was either Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. It was one of the two.
Yeah, but then
that's when the Players Ball.
It was on Christmas Day, and then in the song they changed it when the Players Ball is happening all day, every day, but really it was on that Christmas Day. Yeah, so yeah, they switched it up a little bit, but Players Ball was a Christmas song. And it was very innovative, and it didn't just say Merry Christmas on the song. You know what I'm saying? It's beginning to look a lot like what? You know, it's like Christmas. You know what I'm saying? We know. So yeah, man, they was very innovative, man.
Ain't no chimneys hanging from my
yeah, so I won't be hanging no socks from the ain't no chimneys in the ghetto, so I won't be hanging no socks from the chimney. And Outkast brought us Big Boy and Andre 3000 separately, and as a group they was great. Separately they was a group. We hope one day they get back together and do something, you know. That would be real dope. But you know, hey, look, they gave us so much, we don't even have to. And we know how Andre 3000 is right now. You know what I'm saying? We know what level he on. They can't pay him enough to do, you know what I'm saying, what he really want to do. You know,
hey, he's still a genius.
That's why he did the flute album.
Yeah, you know? Genius.
Yeah,
he probably didn't even know nothing about flutes.
Nah, he learned that shit just to be able to do some shit. Yeah, that's it. I swear they should have put him on the BET Awards playing that mud. I swear.
I put Big Boy up there with one of my top lyricists.
Yeah. Oh, lyrics. Big Boy. Yes.
I definitely.
Daddy Fat Sax.
Yes.
Sir Lucius Left Foot.
He's an actor.
Yeah.
Lyricist. Mm-hmm. I put him up there with that.
Yeah.
I put him up there with
Antoine Patton.
So I'm gonna skip forward a little bit.
Okay.
Because we gonna go all over this. We like Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We going all through it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be an excellent adventure.
Don't that we got to go in order. We ain't going in order. I'm just going off the top of my head. But tell them how I used to ride in that Red Dog truck.
Oh, the Jimmy.
Dark and hell is hot.
Man, so that was 96. That was 96, 95, 96.
DMX, Dark and Hell is Hot, 98.
98, okay, all right, 98.
That shit never came out my deck.
No, never. We listened to that front, back, forward, upside, downside. And we never skipped a song. It wasn't no reason to. Every song was a hit. When DMX first came out, that nigga said, "Get at me, dog."
Yes.
When he dropped "Get at Me, Dog," we was like, "What? Who is this nigga?" This nigga, he was on a couple features before he dropped his own shit. That's how it always is. We know that. Yeah. He jumped on 4, 3, 2, 1 shit.
Yo, it was so aggressive.
He was barking at us.
Man,
we like, man, who is this nigga, man?
From everything that he dropped, you knew what it was. So it's that first line, that first note, that first beat. You like, God.
Because
he didn't stop.
They put a lot of money behind him. They did good marketing with him. He was able to just drop single after single.
Himself.
Yeah, he would have like 4 or 5 singles off one album. You know what I'm saying? Like that was you couldn't even people wasn't doing that. Albums was lasting for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
I always loved the freestyle with him and Jay-Z on the backstage.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yep.
He killed it. He killed that right there.
Yeah, he
but
did.
DMX was, and of course.
He introduces to Ja Rule. I mean, Ja Rule was cool. He was the first Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't put him in my list, but
wait,
you know.
Listen, you call me what you want, man. I was a fan of Ja Rule. And then when he started catering to the women, it was like, you know.
But that was the thing that I think, that when 50 came in, that's when he switched his lane. You know what I'm saying? That's when he stopped trying to be a hard thug core rapper and just said, let me go and talk to the lady. There ain't nobody doing
you
this.
You listen to some of Ja Rule's shit, you like, damn, that's fire.
Yeah. If you know what, I still fucked you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't even want it.
He wasn't no slouch.
No,
in my opinion, he wasn't no slouch.
Nah, he wasn't. He wasn't, man. We laughed, but no, Ja Rule was cool, man. Shout out Ja Rule, man. Lil' Kim.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Lil' Kim, Junior Mafia.
Junior Mafia, Biggie's protege.
Yeah, so Biggie already the shit off of one album. You know what I'm saying? He already shit. He done blew up, but he got his mans in them. He got a whole He got a whole clique of people that from his around the way. You know what I'm saying? That he grew up, got money with, and shit that he wanted to showcase.
He wanted to do his own thing, have his own artists.
Yes, and only a couple of them artists out of the 9 or whatever it was hungry. Yeah. Which was Lil C's and Lil Kim. You know what I'm saying? Lil C's was just his right hand man.
The Mafia album was a disappointment.
Yeah, it was, man. They had 1 or 2 good songs, and they was with Biggie was on there. You know what I'm saying? So it was like he was carrying them. You know what I'm saying? So he just grabbed the 2 hungriest niggas, Lil C's and Lil Kim. They come out with a song, and oh my goodness, I could just see Biggie just sitting back like, oh yeah, I did it, I made it right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, she was the first nasty.
Man, remember her album cover?
And she was sexy.
Remember the monkey print on the first album cover when she was standing there? Oh man, if you ain't had that in your room, they had it in Source. They had it. It was everywhere. You could get it anywhere. Man. And she had the little feather thing around her, and we like,
one of them new female rappers tried to redo the cover.
It wasn't the same because I don't remember it. I don't remember that one. You know what I'm saying? Question on you with her and Lil C's, and she changed their wig about 15 times in the video. That was innovative. They doing that now with the colorful wigs. Lil Kim did that first. Every scene they had the red scene, the green scene, the yellow scene, the blue scene, and they was that was innovative, man. That was innovative, man. Which brings us to another innovative female MC. You know who it is? With the innovative videos,
Missy Elliott.
Oh, there you go.
So Missy Elliott is super duper fly.
Well, baby.
Let me tell you, Super Duper Fly was one of my favorite albums.
Yes. And
I didn't care female, male, nothing, man.
And it went platinum.
Super Duper Fly was like that. Her and Timbaland put together a masterpiece, yo.
That I Can't Stand the Rain with that off beat, and then look, Missy, she's so cold with it. She was kind of big. She was kind of struggling with her weight, so she just put on a big fat suit. Remember? So you couldn't even see how big she was. You know what I mean? She had to be. She was like the female Busta Rhymes at that time when they was coming with the videos, the whoop behind. Yeah. I Can't Stand the Rain.
I like Missy. She's a real performer. You know what I'm saying? And then hanging around with Timbaland.
Oh yeah, Timbaland brought her to the game.
She evolved to a super producer as well as he produced all of her greatest hits, but she produced a handful of them herself. So it was a collaboration, and just the way she worked, and just to see they like brother and sister from what I understand.
Definitely, still to this day. To this day. She wrote. Raven Simone was a rapper back in the day. I don't know if y'all know. She came off the Cosby Show, and she rapped a little bit back in the day. And she had a song called "That's What Little Girls Are Made Of," and that was Missy Elliott's debut. She wrote that behind the scenes. Nobody knew it until after she blew up or whatever. But when she came with "Work It," if you work it, and she reversed that part. Man, we was trying to figure that out. DJs was the only one that could get it because they could go back and switch it up. But what she did, you couldn't even rewind it. She said each word backwards, not the whole phrase backwards. She did each word backwards. So you had to go back and do each word to see what. I still don't know what she was saying.
I'm gonna have to go with the Brat.
Ooh, the Brat.
So the Brat, no shade, no disrespect. She had us confused because I just didn't believe that a woman had a flow like that.
Right, and she didn't. She wore Dickie outfits.
And she wore with
braids, with not cornrows, just loose braids. Yeah.
The first feature she did with Criss Cross.
Oh yeah, the bomb. Can I drop the bomb? Drop the bomb. She came out of nowhere. She wasn't in. She wasn't in the video until she was in the video.
She was in the video.
You know what I'm saying? And we like, oh, who is this little nigga? Who this little nigga? He hard as hell. Like, oh, wait a minute, that's a chick. And then next thing you know, she everywhere with Jermaine Dupri and shit. He's showing
So Def.
Yes. So Def was very, very innovative in bringing kids to the game. He brought a lot of kids to the game, man. He did, Jermaine Dupri, because he was a kid. Remember, he was a kid when he first came in. So he felt that shit. He brought kids to the game.
You look back on the history of music, though, that's kind of the formula, man.
Yeah.
A lot of these rappers that we talking about were 15, 16,
yeah,
17 already.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying?
Were,
yep.
NWA, they was young teenagers.
Yeah, they
in high
was.
school,
they sure was. Yeah.
They was 14, 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
So he didn't really do too much different, but he did hit a younger generation.
Yeah.
Because I think Criss Cross and them was like
13,
12, and 13.
He seen them at the mall with their pants on backwards. Was like, y'all want to be a rapper? Right? They like, we don't know.
Well, we just be chilling.
There's a group called ABC. I want y'all to go up against. They're from around the corner. Shout out to ABC, my cousin Roro. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Def did their thing, but the Brat was a great discovery, man. Because then when she dropped Funkdafied, it was a rap.
And the Brat was the first female solo artist to go platinum. Yes, the Brat, the first female solo platinum artist. Yeah,
like that.
When she dropped that Funkdafied, and her and JD was going back to it's a flow, letting it go, man. Oh my God! And everybody was talking about she sound like a pimp, she sound like Snoop, she sound like this and that. So what? Shit was fire. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny. I'm just sitting here thinking that a lot of the MCs and artists that we named and everything made the transition. The kids nowadays see them on TV.
Yeah.
Y'all see them on TV.
Yup. You see them on shows or got the movies out. Yeah.
From Will Smith to Queen Latifah to
Ice Cube.
Even MC Lyte.
Yeah, MC Lyte. She hosting all the awards now. You can't even do an award show without MC Lyte hosting it. Yeah, you think she a host? No, she used to be a dope rapper.
It was easy to make that transition from hip hop to movie to TV, and you could see it. The formula is there.
Right. Since we said something about MC Lyte was the first female artist to have a studio album.
Yes.
The first solo female artist to have an album, go in the studio and record an album. She was first to do that shit.
Her own, yeah.
But on her own shit.
Was on somebody else's album.
Yeah. She had her own shit, or in a group. Yeah. So shout out to MC Lyte when she came with Light as a Rock. What was there one song that's still platinum to this day? Keep on, keep it on. Yeah, doing it right.
I used to beat that. Stroker in the back. I used to beat that.
Man, I swear, man.
That song got bass.
Man,
that's what I remember about that.
All right, let's go to Houston. We got down in Houston. Oh my goodness.
Let's take this down to Houston. I'm gonna say Scarface first.
Yeah, Scarface.
But I'm gonna give a shout out to the Ghetto Boys. Because without the Ghetto Boys, we probably wouldn't have even known who Scarface was.
And the Ghetto was funny. The Ghetto Boys switched up a couple members for a minute. They switched up. They got a new nigga. They had got Big Mike and shit for a minute. He was sweet. Big Mike was sweet. But then they had to go back. I think Willie D. They wasn't getting along for a minute or whatever. But yeah, shout out to Willie D. and all the rest of the Ghetto Boys. Rest in peace to Bushwick Bill.
Bushwick Bill was a gangster. Motherfucker shot the album cover in the hospital.
Yeah,
he got shot in the eye.
Got shot in the eye.
They shot the album cover.
Yeah, on the way to the emergency room.
You can't get no more gangster than that.
No, you can't. They was looking on there like, oh my God, what is this? Yeah, man. Shout out to the Ghetto Boys, man, because they was for real. Boys. They spelled ghetto different. You know, made us change the way we spelled ghetto for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Even got D. Bushwick motherfucking Bill.
Yeah, and Scarface, man, so innovative to rap, man, because he came with the Scarface name. He wasn't doing it wasn't about the cocaine. It was about him selling cocaine. He had Mr. Scarface on every album. You was expected to hear Scarface is back. Mr. Scarface returns. The return of Scarface. You couldn't wait to hear that one song. He gonna hit you with a whole album, but you could not wait to hear that damn song. I swear.
Chance.
It was 94. Yep. And he dropped the diary.
Mm-hmm. Jesse James is my track.
Man.
And then the last track.
Hey, look.
Man.
Man Cry.
Man Cry.
Hand Over the Dead Body.
Yes.
Yeah. Niggas don't believe that song. That niggas wrong. Gangsters don't live that long. Man.
Listen. Scarface, yes. He's in my top 10.
I went to go see Scarface a few years ago, and he was with one of the Marley sons, right? Kimani Marley. And Kimani Marley came out first. And it was 10, no exaggeration, it was 10 guitars standing up around the stage. All different ones, bass, acoustic, every guitar that you could think of. And Kimani Marley came, so I'm thinking, Kimani Marley come out, he about to use these guitars, maybe pick which one for which song. He come out and do his whole set and didn't touch not one guitar. And I'm like, well, what? That's his props. Like, you can have maybe that's his daddy's guitars. I don't know. Maybe it was all Bob Marley's sign and shit. You know what I'm saying? Props. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But until Scarface came out. Then Scarface came out and grabbed one of them motherfuckers. Doom, doom, doom. And then Mary, Mary, Mary. And then he put that down and grabbed another guitar and played he played his whole set live with guitars. I could not believe it. I kept looking at my ticket like, where's that? And then it said Scarface Unplugged on my ticket. I'm just thinking, I ain't even think about, man,
we saw him in 2021 here in Tampa.
Yeah.
He
is so dope.
He's one of the best shows I've ever seen. I've seen him 3 times.
Yeah, he had got sick for a minute not too long ago, a couple years ago.
First show.
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to tour. He wasn't going to tour when he got sick. He
brought his son with him.
Yep. And then when he got better, because his son gave him the kidney.
Yeah.
Yep, his son gave him the kidney.
He brought his son. He talked about his son on stage.
Yep, he did that. Yep, every show he did that. Every show, yeah.
Gave him a kidney. Shout out, man.
Yep, that's real love. That's real love. And brought him back in the game. Scarface can come out right now with an album. And we gonna buy that bitch. You know what I'm saying? We gonna buy it. The Ghetto Boys can come out with an album. And we gonna really buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. I want to give a shout out to all the legend MCs that have been releasing albums.
Oh yeah, because
Rakim released the album.
Oh yes, sir. LL released the album.
LL released something. Did Will?
Yep, Will Smith is working on it. He released a song. He got a song out right now, and his album is dropping soon. His album is dropping
Method Man always dropping.
Yeah,
he always dropping something for us.
And I kind of get how Method been doing it with Red, because they drop songs just for us randomly. They drop songs and they be on freestyle. They take another nigga beat. I still love that. You know what I'm saying? So they keeping themselves relevant without having to be on TV. Like even though he is on Power, you know what I'm saying? He is Tariq's lawyer.
He's still relevant, man.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah,
he's still relevant.
Yep. I know.
Red Man, Method Man. He took that acting thing just as seriously as, let's say, Ice Cube did. Like I said, a lot of that transition from hip hop to TV screen and movie screen, it's like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, a lot of these MCs, anyway, good, bad, or indifferent, they are a character in that music.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So to become a character on the screen, it can't be that much of a difference. Now, that's just my opinion. It ain't fact, but it seemed like it.
Yeah, it seemed like,
if you look at it,
because you acting. Sometimes you acting as a rapper. You are acting. You know what I'm saying? You can put the extras on it, but you can be telling your real stories, your real truth. But you could put the extras on it. Anybody can put the extras on it. Yeah. You ain't. Rappers ain't really running around killing people. But if they tell you they are, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna believe it because of what they've been through.
I'm sure when I'm not a writer, but I'm sure you want to go for the biggest effect that you're gonna get, so your words got to be real.
Yeah,
they gotta translate like that. And it's the same with acting. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
you gotta translate that. They'll know if you fake or not. Oh, this motherfucker, Milli Vanilli.
Now, right. Now, look, to segue off of that, Pac had a movie before he had an album.
What movie?
Juice came out before his first album came out.
Oh, okay. Before his album.
Yeah. Okay. He did a song with Digital Underground.
Yeah.
But before but before Tupacalypse Now came out, He didn't have no album out yet. You know what I'm saying? So he started, but he went to acting school before he was rapping.
He's a thespian.
Yeah. He knew how to do ballet.
Him and Jada.
Yeah.
You know, they went to the School of the Arts together.
Yep. So it was like for him, it was a different transition, but he never left movies. You know what I'm saying? He never stopped doing movies. He probably would have did, I ain't gonna say probably, he would have did 1 million more movies if he had the chance. You know, it's crazy that, I'm just gonna go into Pac. It was crazy that we look at his when he thugged out, he was only on death row for like 8 months before he died. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even on there a whole year. It seemed like people only know the death row Tupac because that was the bad boy Tupac. But yeah, it was a good Tupac. You know, it was a political Tupac.
His music rings true to this day.
Yeah,
my brother.
Yes, sir.
Like I don't care what song from Changes to Brenda's Got a Baby. Whatever you play a Tupac is relevant today.
Definitely.
And it should resonate in you.
When my homies call.
When my homies call.
Yeah.
From the cradle to the grave.
Yes, all that shit.
His Thug Life album was just as great as his own album. And that wasn't
it could have
been a Tupac album.
I would share the definition of balling with you white folks.
He told our story. Hip hop, our hip hop artists are historians, yo.
Yeah, they are.
You know
the good
what I'm
ones.
saying? Because we not written in the real history books.
Nope.
We not in the history books of school and none of that. That's why a lot of these universities now start teaching hip hop culture.
Yeah,
and
studying the lyrics.
And they studying the lyrics and they're trying to understand. Like people, if you're not a fan of hip hop, that means you're not listening to what they saying.
Exactly. And you don't care.
And good, bad, or indifferent, I don't agree with everything I hear on hip hop. Hip hop. You know, some of the stuff I'll be like, nah, I don't care if it's misogynistic. I don't care. But that's what they're talking about.
I understand.
They're talking about awareness from AIDS and HIV. They talking about the drug epidemic. They talking about the economy. They talking about police brutality because ain't nobody else telling y'all about it.
Nope. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know until you watch Menace to Society and you think, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh my goodness, that's what it was? Oh, that's what it is?
See, y'all not seeing the bigger picture. And I'm talking to the fans of people that be like, oh, y'all listen to that boom bitty bap. No, you're not listening to what's being said.
Exactly. You can be. It's been the best artistic form of expression since dancing, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You can't diss hip hop, but how they say something I love Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, or I love war movies, and I love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because those are the stories that's being told.
Exactly. You can't say you love a Western and say, but John Wayne wasn't all that.
Yeah. You can't.
Or Clint Eastwood.
So if you want to know what we thinking and what we going through, y'all need to listen to more hip hop.
Exactly. Listen to it. It ain't even got to be today's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the hip hop from our generation. Listen to the hip hop where we came from. Listen to hip hop where we learned from. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff we didn't know what was going on in New York until New York rappers started telling us, and then it started being the same shit that was going on in my neighborhood.
It's the same thing.
The only thing that changed, and I always say this, the only thing changed about the different areas is the weather and the way we talk. You know, the slang we use, the words we use, and the weather. That's the only thing different.
No doubt.
And those two things might change the way, you know what I'm saying, you are, you know what I'm saying, but if it's hot, it's hot. If it's cold, it's cold, you know what I'm saying, but we still struggling, you know what I'm saying, or we still going through this.
And a lot of us don't have that voice, you know. Now it's 2024, and so a podcast can be done by your cell phone, but it was not always like that.
Nah.
So everybody didn't have a voice. And speaking of not having a voice, one of the groups that made sure that we had a voice was motherfucking Public Enemy.
Hell yeah. Because they kept a megaphone. Nigga got a megaphone to the microphone. Like,
you know what I'm saying? They are the ones that start saying we need to watch our politicians. This is who we need to watch. KRS-One, hey, the education system is not right. Yo.
And we need to address this shit.
And we need to address this. So without them, we wouldn't, man, the way I dress, you know what I'm saying? Look, make the hood rich again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like the way I dress, the way we talk, the way we look at the world and all of that. I got that from hip hop. I didn't get that from no school books.
No.
And I read. Don't get it twisted. I read.
I got books.
I was a good student.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about as far as a real education and what life was about, from how to deal with, Like I went through my whole phase and how to deal with women, how to talk to women, and what was wrong, what was right, and okay, this is what I need, okay, and how to approach situations. How to strap up.
Yeah, how to strap up.
Like,
yeah.
I don't wear rubber,
Right,
like, I learned a lot of that right there. That's where I learned it from.
You should wear one. You know? Well, I learned how you should wear one. You know?
Akinelli even taught me something. You know
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Akinelli.
On everything. He told me, well, if you don't want to do this, then just go ahead and put it in your mind. And shout out Akinelli, wherever you are. I know you're still around, Akinelli. That's what's up, man. So since we just, after Pac, you gotta go to your my mans, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saving mine for last. I don't know who you got for last. I know you wanted to get back to one of the ladies.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we'll say yours for last. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to. Wait, we're gonna go to Biggie then. We're gonna go to Biggie. We can go to Biggie since we just talked about Pac. Yeah, we're gonna go to Biggie because Biggie was innovative. And listen, there goes to another thing. What I was saying about Pac, how he was only on death row for 8 months. Biggie only dropped 2 albums before he passed. 3 because the second one was a double. And when I tell you the impact that those 2 albums had was just so phenomenal, man.
He's still in the top. He's still in most people's top 5.
Yeah, dead or alive. Yes.
And some features.
Yes. Just the way he spit, his flow, his delivery, and how he just didn't care, man. And wasn't nobody bigger than Biggie.
Nobody bigger than Biggie. Black and ugly as ever.
Yeah. However, the way, and he told y'all, and when he came with that phrase, I went from ashy to classy, man, that shit made sense, man, because he definitely did that shit, man. We know the story. We seen the movie. Yep. I mean, if you have, BET played it every day for like a year one time. So you didn't see it, you know what I'm saying? Go back and watch Notorious, you know what I'm saying?
Me and some of my guys, man, we used to get off work, hotbox the car, and listen to Ready to Die.
Yes. Yeah, because it was like a movie.
And when I say listen to Ready to Die, I'm talking about a whole session.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, this is, I used to smoke big blunts. Like maybe 3-4 blunts. And we listening to the whole album from the beginning. My favorite was "Give Me the Loot."
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I used to like the what with Method Man. Fuck the world, don't ask me for shit.
Warning.
The warning.
Who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning.
And of course, Juicy. Of course, Juicy. It was so many people in that video. We didn't even know none of them people back then. Until now, yeah. We look back like, oh, that was look at yeah. Biggie had everybody in the video. Yeah, he had everybody in the iconic yellow bad boy jersey.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I seen
in the middle of the street.
Yeah. I just saw that they got donated to the hip hop museum or something. That exact jersey. Yep. Somebody donated. Somebody, his mom or somebody had it and donated to the hip hop museum or whatever in New York.
But the
or whatever.
90s, yo. Let me tell you, just all about. I'm gonna get into the 90s just for our culture, yo. We had more movies. We had more TV shows.
Definitely.
We had the music.
Yep.
The NBA had embraced hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just the culture that, and from the NBA now you taking something that's one nation.
Yeah.
You taking it global. Now they seeing it everywhere. You got 90s. Artists traveling the countries that we ain't never even heard of, selling out. Yep. Like the 90s set the tone for what this is, especially for my age.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
My age, that was the best time of my life.
90s was colorful. You remember how colorful the 90s was with the clothes
the
and
way
everything.
We dressed, used, damaged, cross color,
Carl Kanai. Man. It was
Jabot.
It was so many black designers out back then. You think it's something now?
Our culture, the 90s was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying? You got the living single girls. You got the girlfriends. You got, we got
Fresh Prince. We got Martin.
Fresh Prince. We got Martin.
Malcolm and Eddie. We had the Wayans brothers. Was that the Wayans brothers in the 90s?
Yo. And if and this world, I don't know what happened.
Robert Townsend was running Hollywood. Robert Townsend. Yeah, shout out Robert Townsend, man. Hollywood Shuffle, man.
Something happened, man. Something happened.
It was the Mecca. It was the Mecca for us. We had the Mecca clothing line.
Yeah. Movies. We had
They was giving away more money then. They was giving out more money.
Movies. It was so many movies. The soundtracks to the movies.
We gotta do a whole episode on movies. We sure do. We gotta do a whole episode on movies in the 90s. And
so I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to do the 90s. I couldn't wait to do the 90s.
We knew it wasn't gonna be no quick hair. Nah, it's too many, man. It's too. And even with the ones that we picked, it's still we already know. Come on, y'all. We know. We
got honorable mentions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We definitely do. You know, DJ Quick is one of my honorable mentions.
DJ Quick, definitely.
You know, super producer. Yeah. He dropped a great album. You know what I'm saying? I could. Common.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Common, yeah, definitely Common.
Common was a 90s.
Yeah.
Then you had
MC8.
I'm gonna go way obscure. Pastor Troy. I really like Pastor Troy. Oh yeah, Troy.
Pastor Troy. Pastor Troy was good, man.
I like
Pastor Troy. Down South Georgia boys.
I can't believe neither one of us even said nothing about E40 or the Bay.
I brought up Sugar T earlier, but then I said that it wouldn't be no Sugar T without E40, so we should have talked about E40 in the click. Yeah.
When I heard top of the line Ryan Carlos Rossi,
I heard Captain Saber
all the time. That song right there.
That shit beat so hard. Them 808s on that song right there, and just the top of the line wine. I was drinking that shit. I'm like, I'm about to go get that big ass jug. That bitch was big as hell for $7. Yeah, $7 for that bitch. You come back cold. You gotta wait till it get cold to drink it. Yeah, the Carlos Rossi Ryan. Yeah, that was the flavor Ryan. You can't find that shit nowhere now. You got Carlos Rossi everywhere, but not the Ryan.
E40, as far as his influence on the culture. From his own language to
his own label and doing his own thing.
His own label doing his own
selling them out the trunk of the car. He was first.
But there are words that we use that were introduced by E40. Mm-hmm. Phrases.
Niggas still say sprinkle me when they ask you for something. Man, sprinkle me, man. Yeah. They ask you for a drink or some chips or something. Man, sprinkle me.
E40, he was different. Spice One.
Spice One, definitely.
Spice One.
Yeah, welcome to the ghetto. Let me see. Now I got Snoop and Dre in the 90s.
Of course.
The Death Row, of course, you know what I'm saying?
Probably the GOAT producer.
Yeah.
Because he don't just do hip-hop.
Nah, he did. He did some of everything.
But we own hip-hop.
Yeah, we own hip-hop.
His production, that's what I listen to. With his beats, they sound cleaner than a lot of other people's. But he got a formula, and his formula works.
And Snoop picked up the formula so quick. It seemed like he seemed like they was like he just studied. And
Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Like 1, 2, 3 into the 4. You know what I'm saying? I know what we trying to do over here. You know what I'm saying?
First heard him on the Death Row soundtrack, Deep Cover.
Yep, Deep Cover. It was Deep Cover.
With Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, and you don't stop because it's 187 on the under.
That's where I first heard.
And Snoop wrote the whole damn song.
Yeah,
wrote the whole song quick as hell.
That's where I got my introduction to Snoop.
Yeah,
again, living out there, that West Coast influence as far as the music, it runs deep. It runs deep.
But you know what I'm saying? Look. When that nigga said, "What's my name, fool?" and that nigga changed to the dog, I could never unsee that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For the rest of my life, Snoop Dogg look like a Doberman.
I swear to God. Shout out to my dog Snoop, man. But he did. He had the 2 braids on the side and it curled up at the end. He knew what he was doing. It was marketing. Snoop a marketing genius. You know he's a marketer. It's about 30-year anniversary from that Doggy Style album or whatever, which Snoop did all by himself, him and Dre, you know what I'm saying?
And Dre alone, man, it's even to this day, artists Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Pop.
Yeah.
Go to the game.
I didn't even know Kendrick Lamar lived with Dre for a couple years. Yeah, lived with him. So
he's responsible and has touched what do you call himself? Compton's Beethoven. He literally is. You know what I'm saying? On that track with him and Nipsey. Mm-hmm. He has touched all of LA when it comes to hip hop.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's through be it through other producers, be it through MCs. You listen to it, and you're a music connoisseur, man. You listen to Dre's production, it's crispy. Man. It's clean.
He put sounds on top of sounds and it make it sound so good.
And then Chronic 2001.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the intro alone, man. God damn.
And then he made. I don't know. Right. I don't know what. I don't know why. Oh yeah, with the hydraulic.
Yeah. At the very beginning.
Yeah. I don't know why he making us wait so long for this other album. Or I just think he shouldn't even do it. I think he just go ahead and do another album because the Detox, it don't even make sense no more. You know what I'm saying? It don't even. I don't know. What would you? Why would you make us wait? You might as well just drop something else.
I don't know. You
could just do a compilation.
He got a plan. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Maybe he probably already. I heard he got the music already.
Yeah.
That's what I keep hearing. That M, you know, M always trying to leak some shit and say some shit.
See,
yeah,
you just did that.
Yeah, because that's my guy. That's my guy. I'm going. I say Dre and Snoop. I gotta go. We could talk about the dog pound. Shout out to Corrupt and Dash. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Corrupt and
But
Dash.
I was gonna go home and talk about Eminem. Hi, Eminem.
That's what we was getting there.
Yeah,
that's where I was getting.
Yeah,
that's where I was getting.
You gotta go to Eminem because
Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers.
Dre gave him a chance without even knowing he was white. You know what I'm saying? He heard him on his voicemail and was like, "Get this nigga up here." I used to catch
a lot of shit for listening to Eminem, man.
Yeah,
and I hear people say, "Don't nobody be bumping Eminem in the car." I'm like, "Shit,
man, you crazy as hell."
You lying,
right? I heard a lot of people saying stuff about Eminem, but you ain't listen, or you can't listen, or you can't hear it. Sometimes it's like with rock and roll. You know, they speak with their hands and their guitar sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about the lyrics sometimes. Sometimes and you listen and you can hear the guitar talking. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with Eminem.
So that's why I go back to what I was saying. You need to listen.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you listen to what he's saying, that shit is it covers everybody.
Oh yeah, it do.
You know what I'm saying?
It definitely. Eminem was that guy, man. He came out.
Covers everybody.
He came out the same blonde hair, blue eyes. He ain't like that no more. You know what I'm saying? But he knew what he had to do to get in the door. You know what I'm saying? Be the crazy white boy. You know what I'm saying? That shit worked for him. Now he back to the crazy white boy. You know what I'm saying? Slim Shady, he had an alter ego. All the D12 had an alter ego. That made it dope.
More MCs got respect for him than the ones that don't.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? I think. Let's if I had to put it in percentages, I would have to say 70% respect and appreciate his contributions to the game, to hip hop. You might got that 30% that don't.
Yeah,
and that's where I'm gonna say it is, in my opinion.
And that 30% probably goes on some racist shit. You know, some of them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, white boy.
It's hip hop, man.
It is hip hop. And you can't be mad at
hip hop is global.
The people, you can't be mad at if somebody, a white boy could do it better than you because you couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the reason might be. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever the reason might be.
He cold.
I think he cold, man. Mm-hmm. You know, what life? If I had $1 million, that man, I love
rock
that
bottom.
song. I've always loved that song,
man.
Because if I had $1 million, I'd probably do some of the same shit he talking about.
Yeah. And when he got it, he probably did some of that same shit that he talking about. We ain't see it. But he kept getting, he was getting in trouble a lot, though. I remember he beat his girl, not his girl. He seen his girl kiss a dude, the security guard at the club, at Hot Rocks in Madison Heights. Pistol whip dude.
And he just released something new. And I listened to it 3 times straight through.
Man. It's phenomenal.
And I listened to a few of the other ones.
And I'm glad that he's starting to, you know what I'm saying, go back to Detroit and start messing with some artists that already paid homage to him and already, you know what I'm saying, looked up to him as a big brother. Whereas he never really did no songs with no Detroit artists, except Trick Trick. You know, everybody got to do a song with Trick Trick. You got to do a song with Trick Trick. But he didn't really mess with no Detroit artists until now. I mean, D12, yeah. But it was a good and a bad to that. The good was he stuck with his homies. He stayed with his homies. He didn't mess with nobody else.
I feel like in the beginning he tried to bring a few up.
He tried to do Royce. Yeah.
Obi.
Yeah, he did. But he
did.
But
then, you know, I don't know.
That probably rubbed him the wrong way when it didn't go the way he wanted it to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Royce wanted to be his own man anyway. Obi, he just, the fame took over him. You know what I'm saying? Right. He tried to do his thing, stay committed, but he really just the money. It was the money for him. You know what I mean?
Obi.
Yeah. And then
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Obi got shot on the freeway, and then that changed his life. He got shot and he in the head, and he survived, and he stopped wanting to do everything. You know what I'm saying? He really, that changed the nigga life. You know what I'm saying? Like
as it would.
Yeah, he didn't even know if it was because he was Obi Trice that they were trying to kill him. He don't even know if it was some regular old shit. He didn't even know. So that changed him up a little bit, man. So shout out to Obi Trice Detroit. Shout out to Eminem. Detroit. Shout out to D12, the whole E Swift, Denine, Canava, fucking Bizarre Kid, my guy. Rest in peace, Big Proof. You know what I'm saying?
8Ball.
Yeah. Yeah. And 3-6 Mafia. Yeah, them guys there, man.
Juicy J.
Yes, man. DJ Paul, man. Paul. Yeah, Gangsta Boo. And she was so hard, man. She had to hang with them niggas all the time now.
What they call their music?
Horrorcore. Well, that was really, that was horrorcore. Yeah, horrorcore rap. Yeah.
Horrorcore rap.
Yeah, because Esham and ICP, they was on the same shit. Yeah. Horrorcore. That's what it was called. Yep. 8Ball and MJG coming out hard, man. And what was that, 92?
Yes.
Yep, coming out hard. And I had wrote this down. I wanted to tell y'all. MJG, in case y'all didn't know, that stands for Marlon Jermaine Goodwin.
You ain't shit.
I didn't know. I mean, it's public knowledge now, obviously, because
it is public knowledge.
I never knew it because every song we know, if you listen to 8Ball MJG, every song he say MJG. You know what I'm saying? So now I knew it was Marlon Jermaine. You know what I'm saying? And that's two of the Jackson 5, so he was destined to be great. You know what I'm saying? For real. So I just want to throw that out there. Suave House Records, that's what they was on. That was a very, very influential label in the South. Discovered by Tony Draper, was the CEO, and he put a lot of people on Suave House Records, put a lot of people on Tila. It's a whole, Suave House was real big.
Suave House was.
Yeah.
Tila was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I was in the club.
Yeah, and I'm so tired of balling.
I'm tired of balling.
Man, that was epic.
So tired of balling.
Man,
I got a couple honorable mentions, and I know you're going to have something to say about a few of them. Mm-hmm. My first honorable mention, I'm going to give it to Tech 9.
Oh yeah, he got the technicians, man, all over the world, man.
Let me tell crazy. You something. Tech 9 is a lyrical genius.
Yeah, he is.
Like y'all like Twista and Eminem and Busta. He one of the originators of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he did it all by himself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Sick Made is him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Independent, full independent.
Well, no, Strange Music.
Strange Music.
Yeah, Strange Music. Six Made was Brother Lynch. Shout out to him too.
That's my other honorable.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lynch Hung.
Yeah. Yep. That guy right there, Lynch Hung, man. He talking about he was eating people and stuff, but he really wasn't. But it was just so dope because it was like, oh man, this thing. But that was the CERN. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brother Lynch was Situation on Dirty.
Situation on Dirty.
On the Body soundtrack.
And a shout out to your man.
Who?
Mac Dre.
Mac Dre. Oh. Rest in peace, Mac Dre, man. I got to hang out with that dude one night, man. He was gone right after that, man. But Mac Dre, every song, party, and get some pussy. and pop a pill.
How you get in the club, Shoes?
That's how I walk in. Get my search. My search on. Pop my pill.
That's how don't search me.
Man, I swear. And I grew my dreads for him. I haven't got them no more, but I grew my dreads just because of the one night that I hung out with him. We was going crazy. He kept on, man, come on, Shoes, what you doing? I'm like, man, I can't keep up. But man, it was one of the best nights ever, man. Mac Dre dropped 25 albums, man, at least. Yeah. All independent, all on his own label, all with his own homies, all in his own neighborhood, and they stayed right around the corner from E40, and they stayed away from each other. You know what I'm saying? They went toward the end. They started building the bond or whatever, but it was, it was at the end. Who knows when the end gonna be? You know what I'm saying? So now you got rest in peace, Mac Dre. I'm gonna do it for the Bay. You got a lot of people hollering out Mac Dre and quoting Mac Dre lines. If you never really listened to him, you wouldn't even know that these people quoting his lines or whatever. Or you hear Too Short say, they came with Dre. They don't need ID. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you're talking about unless you know who Mac Dre is. Go back and listen to Mac Dre. I get real passionate when I talk about Mac Dre, man, because he was a good dude, man. He was real good. And they killed him for partying. He was just a party animal. That's it. He wasn't talking no rah-rah. He had beat your ass. He talked about it, but he wasn't on that. Every time you seen him, he was on some happy, hyphy party shit, dancing. Niggas ain't dance, you know what I'm saying? This nigga stayed dancing, stayed making the Thiz face. I was innovated. I'm like, shit, nigga, this nigga, what the Thiz face? You gotta pop a pill and even to do it. You gonna do it as soon as you taste the motherfucker.
No
pop
doubt.
that motherfucker like, don't bite it. Don't bite the motherfucker. Yeah, man. So yeah, Mac Dre, man. I had to that was one of my honorable mentions. Like I had to do that.
Too Short.
Too Short. Listen, that nigga said
out the trunk of his car.
Yes. He said he used his homeboy's chain and the Cadillac on the first album cover. He spent $1,500 making that album. That's all he had. They had tapes in a paper bag. They was going to different swap meets and shit and selling them bitches. He got the game from E40 and Uncle St. Charles put him up in the game, and Tony Draper, of course, and Master P. They was all in that set because Master P was in the Bay too doing this thing too. So they was all around each other doing the same thing. But Too Short said, "Bitch," and I'm like, he talking to them hoes too. Yeah, and then he had the hoes on the song talking back to him, talking shit. Oh my goodness, that was so motherfucker.
Then he got real. He dropped the Ghetto.
Yeah, he did. Life is too short.
Life is too short.
Yeah, when he said the life is too short, we were listening to that like it is. Like that shit is deep.
In the game, man.
Yeah, he is, and he stayed, and he's still in the game. Stayed in the game. We just talked about 4 West Coast rappers that just made an album together, all 4 of them. Ice Cube, Snoop, E40, and Too Short got an album out called Mount Westmore. That's a good listen. If you like all those artists, and you put them all together, man, on some good production.
That's a good album.
Man, that album was phenomenal. If you were old school head like me, I played it for. I ain't gonna say who. Played it for some young cats, and they're like, "What your old ass?" Listening to I was upset. Little bit of drinking and shit.
That Mount Westmore is nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
That was a good collab. Yep. That was a good collab.
Then look, Cube and E40 had a good relationship with. I think all of them did. Yeah. Cube, Too Short, they all got some. Cube, a matter of fact, E40 and Too Short got 2 albums together, maybe 2 or 3 albums together. They got. Yeah. Shit, they was always doing shit together. Snoop just the one that does so much. He the one that didn't really never had time. You know what I'm saying? He missed out on a couple of videos and shit or whatever, video shoots or whatever. But he sent this verse in. They did that shit during COVID, and they said that they got enough songs. It was so many songs that they got enough to drop 4 more albums off of that. Yeah, because of all the songs that they put together.
I'm sure all these artists got catalog of music. Maybe they waiting to release on their own. Maybe they just not going to release. And
I think it's about.
Maybe it's for their kids to release.
Yeah, I kind of think some of it be about what label they was on the last time, and then what they owe to the label, what obligations they might have to drop another album. Some people just not making no music right now, but they still might have owed Jive or somebody an album. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or Priority Records an album. You don't want to do no album if you owe somebody an album and you know you wouldn't get no money in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You got to renegotiate your shit. You know what I mean? Or wait on your masters. Wait till you own all that shit again. And by then, shit. Yeah, by then, we was like, damn, is you still relevant? Some of them niggas still are. You know what I'm saying? Some of them niggas, we like, man, you waited all the time and dropped this? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you could have just. It is gonna happen. Some of them gonna re-record their own shit.
They are relevant, and their names ring true right now.
Yes, definitely.
Some of them may have an issue, and it's gonna be a small select group of people that's like, I'm about to buy that, or I'm gonna download that shit. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm about to get that.
Yeah.
You know,
like when we mentioned the DLC.
Yep.
Yes.
He gonna have a nice following, especially out there where he from. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the country is what's going to have to understand who he is and what his contributions was for Death Row, for West Coast rap.
All them songs he wrote, all the music he did.
He's the writer behind some of your favorite songs.
Yeah, because he couldn't talk.
Yeah, he lost his voice in a DUI accident. Mm-hmm.
And he was able to speak through Dre and Snoop and all of them. You know, not saying that he wrote Snoop's hit, but he helped cultivate Snoop. He tell you the story. He helped cultivate Snoop and get his cadence together. He said Snoop ain't know how to put no bars together. He just could rap, endlessly rap. And he taught him how to put a 16 together and put a hook and make the breakdown and all that. So, yeah, shout out to DLC. He did have an innovative say on how rap music came out from Death Row. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
And I only got one more. Now I'm really thinking about that. We didn't mention Nas.
Nope, we did not mention Nas.
We did not mention Nas.
And his first album was Illmatic.
And
yes.
That was gritty.
That was very, very gritty.
It was gritty. His videos was gritty.
Yeah, they run from the police all the time. Yeah, like all the with time. Army suits on and shit. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like his every song sounded like it was being played on an old record player.
Yeah, it was like it was filtered.
Yeah, and every song. And whose world is this?
Yep.
What up, kid? I know time is rough.
It ain't hard to tell.
What is that?
That was the letter to something.
Yeah.
Letter. Yeah.
That whole album, that whole Illmatic album was exactly its title, yo.
Yep. And shit, that nigga was the first nigga to put a kid, his baby picture on his album cover. Nobody never did that before that. Then the Biggie did it. Then they started talking shit. Oh man, niggas biting off your cover and shit. No, that was the thing for a hot second. You know what I'm saying? He had his projects in the back and his baby picture with how he grew up and shit. And then you ain't know, if you ain't know Nas, you ain't know how he looked, but he looked like this little kid. You know what I mean?
He had his beef with Jay.
Yep, hell yeah.
You know
And I don't even I couldn't tell you why. They got their own little reasons of why it went down or why it was, but it was a long beef, but it didn't last long on wax. It was short on wax. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was quick on wax. It was one song, then oh shit, that nigga killed me. They still ain't talked to each other for a long time.
And then they end up on the same label.
Yep, hell yeah. And
but Jay-Z,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think I was listening to DMX more, and then I heard Volume 2. Now, Volume 2 made me go back to Reasonable Doubt.
Yep.
Then I started bumping Reasonable Doubt all the time. Volume 2 kind of took the back seat, but Reasonable Doubt should have been in its first release, platinum easy.
Now that was 96.
I don't think anybody appreciated it because he was new. His style was different.
Yep.
Nobody really knew exactly who he was. At the time, you know, he got Ain't No Nigga, you know what I'm saying, with Foxy. And then he had Brooklyn's Finest with Biggie.
Yep.
So other than that, he was a new artist.
Yeah.
So Reasonable Doubt, but then after his second, and he said in one of his songs, I think, you know what I'm saying, but Reasonable Doubt didn't get the appreciation the first time around that it should.
And now it's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Now that every track is undeniable because he had to Mary J. I'm taking out this time. That was can't like the hustle. Yeah, now it's like the shit. It was when he tried. He knew it was, but then that's what they say.
We was behind him.
Yeah, that's what they say. He was ahead of his time. They still say that right now. This is why this nigga.
That album didn't get appreciated the first time around.
Nah, it didn't.
When he gets to his third album, then people start going back. Well, wait a minute, this is the same nigga.
And they all and look, they had their own money.
Yeah.
Him and Dame had their own money to do whatever the hell they wanted to do, and they did that shit.
Yeah.
They did that shit. They signed artists, they dropped artists, they brought artists, they wrote for artists, they made artists big, they made artists small, they made you know nigga, they made you not know a nigga.
Nobody clearly as a rapper has done what Jay-Z has done.
Nah,
monetarily,
hell no.
album wise,
and kept it private.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z and Beyonce drop a reality show right now, the whole world gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? For real. So yeah, man, big shout out to Jay-Z, man.
Jay-Z, H.O.B. He one of my favorite. He in my top 5.
Yeah, you can't you can't go a whole day if you listening to hip hop. If you put on hip hop for 5 hours, you're gonna hear 5 Jay-Z songs.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's endless. Like you're gonna hear 5 Jay-Z influence songs.
He don't work with some of everybody.
Yeah, he have. Yeah, he even work with his wife.
For real.
Right.
His wife.
Yeah, they did him and his wife album dirty because he had got caught cheating before the album came out or some shit. That was crazy though. You don't listen because he cheated on her. We don't believe the Carters. You know what I'm saying? They thought they was gonna break up. No, they didn't. Now I go drop an album. Now everybody gonna. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they both understand the assignment.
Yeah.
So check this out. I think we done touched on every group from the 90s. You feel like we left anybody out?
Yep.
Who?
The Fugees. And Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill and the Fugees.
Yes.
Wyclef, Prize.
Yep.
And Lauryn Hill.
Because Because I don't know what happened with Prize. He had got into some legal trouble and he went back to his country. I know Lauryn Hill stopped making music because of the way shit was going, and she didn't like the way her label was pushing her, the Miseducation. Her only solo album she ever had, her only album she ever dropped. The Fugees, they were going to go on and do their own thing and then come back together, but since they didn't promote her solo album, she just said forget music altogether and just start, saying raising kids or whatever, which I understand,
But she back.
But it's 26 years later and she back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She back now and she with her son. She got her son, she got the Marley son. Her daughter, Celia Marley, is a singer right now. She